Okay, hey guys, welcome to oldpocketknives.com. Today I'm going to show you some Case Bulldog knives and some of the different varieties that they were produced in. So I hope this video is helpful for you. Let's get into it. Okay, so in the 1940s, Case started to market these big 72 clasp knives as the Bulldog. And a couple of the features of a Bulldog include has this kind of long sweeping kind of curved handle here with nickel silver bolsters, brass liners. They have 4 handle pins and a center pin as well. As you can see, it has a very large kind of big bellied clip blade here, but it features the Case XX Bulldog etch on all of these. You can see the stamp says Case XX 5172, so the pattern number is on the front in these. All of these that I'm showing you here right now are from the 1965 to 69 era. And a cool thing about these knives is you can collect a bunch of different Bulldog knives, but because they have stag handles, it's like a whole collection in itself because of the variation of that natural handle material. So you'll see that they look kind of different as we go on. Good snap. They all came with these walnut display boxes, and you can see the Case XX with the long tail C insignia on that and the Bulldog paint on it. Underneath, sometimes you'll see remnants of the original sticker where it was purchased. This one has one, I can't read it, but MAN, something hardware store maybe, or something to that effect. But yeah, they all came with these boxes. This one is pretty similar as well. I like this one because it has kind of a much redder tone in the stag. You can see on the back too. Real gnarly stag, really nice. And this one has a little bit of staining on the blade, but what are you gonna do? Pretty nice overall. Again, has that same Case XX 5172 stamp on it, and that presentation box with the felt inside. I have 2 more of these, and these actually came with the original sleeve. I think they were all sold with this original sleeve, but it has the Case XX Bulldog 5172 pattern. By the way, the 5 stands for the stag, 1 is the number of blades, 72 is the pattern number. WR Case & Sons Cutlery Company, Bradford, Pennsylvania. So they have the original sleeve, which is cool. Again, some more variation in that stag. This one's kind of maybe the most different from the other ones, at least on the front. Doesn't have the kind of the canyons and, you know, the different valleys inside of it, more of a smooth, but on the back it's definitely back to that gnarly stag, which is cool. Once again, some staining, 5172 Case XX. And this one is also a nice one, but again, stag's different on them all. Okay, so these are all from that same vintage, from that same era of 1965 to 69, and I just wanted to line them up so you could see the different handle variation, but yet see the similarities in the, you know, the shape of the knife as well. Okay, so here is a variation, a little bit earlier variation. We just looked at the stained wooden box. Has the same stamp on it, on this one, but it's a black painted box. I'm not sure exactly what happened on mine here, whether it was, you know, melted or something happened to it. But anyways, the black box is an earlier variation. And there's some other things on this knife that make it earlier. So looks pretty similar from the outside, but it has a few key differences. I'll show you those now. The first thing you'll notice is the fact that it has handmade USA on the blade. These 1965 to 69 knives had handmade in the USA on the tang. So that's a key difference there. So again, these are all from the 65 to 69 era, whereas this one is earlier. Now, another difference is if you open up the blade, you will see that it has just case, as opposed to the Case XX 5172 on the front of the tang. This one has either Case XX underneath the bolster, or Case XX USA, which is the transition stamp. I believe this one dates from 1940 to 64 or something like that. There's the transition one that kind of goes in between this knife and these, but again, I don't quite know if this is the XX or XX USA. I can't read it because the blade is actually, the bolster is actually covering the stamp on the blade. Either way, this is an earlier mark. And you can see once again, let me clean this up for a second here. Enjoy the view of those. All right, there we go. You can see it has handmade in the USA on the blade etched, and then it has just the pattern number on the back, 5172. So this is the earlier version. This is the later version. Okay, so Case continued to make these knives into the 70s, and they were no longer called the Bulldog, or at least they didn't have the Bulldog etch on the blade. This one was for the 1976 Razor Edge stag set. It came with another 7 or 8 knives in that set, and as you can see, it has Case XX Razor Edge, and stamped on the tang is Case XX 5172 SSP. This is a stainless blade. On the back, it still says handmade in the USA, and it has 4 dots indicating that it was made in 1976. So basically the same knife there, but just without the Bulldog etch. And here's one made 1 year later. Again, show you that nice stag. This one has a blue scroll, as you can see. Look at those deep canyons and valleys there, pretty cool on that stag. This one has the blue scroll, which indicates it was made for the 77 stag set. Again, it has these markings similar to the previous one. And I have one more here. This is another 77. This one's actually for sale on my website. You can see the link below, but it's also part of that 77 set with that blue scroll. Very nice knife. All right. Having a 72 party here. Okay, so before we stopped, I wanted to show you one more knife that was related to the Bulldog. It is a 72 pattern after all, so I should include it. It's called the Buffalo, as you can see here. It has the same felt-lined box, and this knife has the same frame, but it has a wooden handle, as you can see. It's got pack of wood handles, I believe is what Case called them. And you can see instead of a Bulldog, it's got a Buffalo. So there it is, Case XX Buffalo with the Buffalo etch. And I believe the wooden handles were like a laminate wood that they used, but very nice looking handles regardless. So it's a P172 is the pattern, Case XX, and on the back, once again, handmade in the USA. This one's got a bunch of dots. I believe it has 9 dots, so that would make it 1971. I believe they started making these in the 70s. So this is the Buffalo, and it is also a 72 pattern, so let's put it in there as well. Okay, so guys, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something about the 72 pattern today. Again, we had the 1965 to 69 version, we had the 1976 version, we had the 1977 versions, as well as the Buffalo. Don't forget about the Buffalo. So again, if you enjoy this content, please like the video, please subscribe. And once again, thanks for tuning in, guys. This is Jesse from oldpocketknives.com. Have a great day.